Sometimes I press my fingernails into my hands so hard, they leave crescent-shaped bruises carved into my skin. It's what I do when I feel the walls closing in. Thinking that maybe if I push hard enough to make a dent, then in theory there will be less of me to make a mess of me. It's a common symptom of my social anxiety. It's being in a room full of people, yet the loneliness that inhabits my chest cavity is the deepest form of depravity I have ever known. It's getting lost on the highway and my heart starts racing because I begin bracing myself for never being able to find my way back home. It's waiting in the parking lot for an hour, only to go back where I came from because there were too many unfamiliar faces for me to feel welcome. It's feeling empty and pretending to be full. It's saying I'm sorry when it's my heart getting pulled. It's trying everything I can but still not being understood. It's terrifying. It's intoxicating. It's lonely. But it's the only way I've known how to be me. And in a way, it's comforting. When I was little, my naivety always got the best of me by telling me I didn't have to worry about what other people thought of me. But it became obvious that that isn't a reality. So when I got older, my negativity took over me, telling me my worth was every thought anyone ever had of me. It consumed me, became me, overwhelming me too much, so I found a middle ground where nothing would ever touch me. But recently I realized, sitting in the middle of the woods, in the middle of the state where the sun only shines a middle amount of the time, that being in the middle is no place to reside. For years, I would thrive on filling my body with oxygen, only to let it out again before it could stay long enough for my blood to enjoy a companion. But the air that surrounds me now abandons my lungs, filling them with a new loneliness that I can only describe as suffocating. Surrounded by people, yet bound by thoughts of being alone because I've refused myself the luxury of being solely with God for so long. So long, old friend. The 4 words I said as I indulged in my sinning and floated further away from the one who created the sea in the first place. It seems I misplaced my love for God with the love for feeling lonely, only hoping I could crawl back later and somehow find my Savior. Savior. I think it's time to do your saving. My hate for discomfort was my ailment and my anxiety my prescription, but I never let the holy physician ever analyze my condition. I was self-prescribed. Decided that I knew myself better than the one who initially knit me together, but recently I realized, sitting in the middle of the woods, in the middle of the state where the sun only shines a middle amount of the time, as I pressed my fingernails hard enough to leave crescent-shaped bruises in my skin, there is already a man who has holes in his hands hoping to hold on to mine. It's been a really long time since I've let him try. I'm tangible, but not all tangible things like to be touched, and after indulging in loneliness for so long, even his hands felt like too much. My anxiety kept assuring me that his hands couldn't hold me, giving a new definition to why he's considered holy. So I gave him a middle amount of me, but the middle is not a place of residence. The middle is not a place to feel his presence. The middle is a place of accepted disobedience. Comfortable as it is, no part of it is satisfying. And Jesus didn't die for me to give him half my time. He doesn't want part of me, he wants to hold all of me. His hands are strong enough to take my anxiety. Being vulnerable can seem intolerable, especially with someone so flawless. But I guess I'd rather be honest than live forever in solace. Hello, old friend. It's good to see you again.